Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today I want to talk about why AEGP or After Effects general plugins are totally underrated and why you should make them yourself. The purpose of this video is to explore a niche of the After Effects add-on space that a lot of people aren't participating in, but I often get comments or questions asking, is it worth getting into development of After Effects add-ons of any kind? And I think when it comes to AEGPs, this is certainly the case. So today I'm going to be discussing what exactly they are, what the advantages are, what the disadvantages are, and go from there of why this sort of niche plugin type is totally underrated. Before we do get started, make sure you hit subscribe down below. You can check out the links in the description to check out some of my AEGPs on AE scripts, as well as the other links you can check out in the description. But without further ado, let's get started. For those of you who are not familiar, an After Effects general plugin, or an AEGP, is a type of plugin that essentially it just becomes a menu item. So After Effects can essentially be thought of as just an empty program with a whole bunch of these menu items. So let's take a look at a couple custom ones I have installed. Under File, I have QuickLink items, which is one of the products I developed to link very quickly any missing project items in your project. Under Composition, I have what I call Suffix Slayer. It removes the sort of frame endings that are mandatory to be exported when you export an image out of After Effects. And of course, there are plenty more I'm working on and have created. So essentially, they're menu items. And this is why I have several cool ones that I've developed. I started by developing some with MoGraph Mindset. He had these cool ideas, and we kind of combined our skills to create these awesome After Effects menu items. The first one we created was called Set Path Keyframes. And this one essentially goes under the animation panel and allows you to quickly set keyframes on any paths that you have selected. After that, we created what we call Style Bandit, which basically just allows you to simply copy and paste only text styles in After Effects. So with this one, it's under the layer menu and you can copy a text style. So you select a text layer. And so like in this example, you select the style from this little style text, and then you paste it by going to layer, paste text style onto this other bandit text. This is something that you can't currently do in After Effects, so that's why we developed an AEGP to expand the sort of functionality of After Effects. You know, you can copy a text layer, but you can't copy the text style until now. And then our last project we worked on together, which I really is my favorite personally, is Find My AEP. This is a sort of simple menu item that does one very specific task, and that is to open up your browser or your file explorer and select and show the file that you have open in After Effects. So if you have a project open, you just go to File, Reveal Current Project File, or Find My AEP, and boom, it loads up the folder that shows exactly where that's located. So we released this product either in 2021 or 2022. I don't remember which version, the AEGP specifically, maybe 2022. It's been out for 3 or 4 years. And now in After Effects 25.3 and higher, the June 2025 release, look what they added. Reveal projects in the file system. Now After Effects offers a convenient feature that lets you instantly locate your project file directly from within the application with a single click. It opens your computer's file explorer and highlights the exact location of the currently open project file. So unfortunately, despite Find My AEP being a free AEGP, After Effects went ahead and made it themselves. We never reached out to about this, but that is one thing to consider. If you're making a sort of add-on like this that extends the possibilities of After Effects, make sure it's a feature that you think is both not currently supported, but maybe one that they don't plan to support anytime soon, or can be totally unique. And well, we developed this, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? At that time, we weren't thinking After Effects was going to implement their own feature like this. But who knows, maybe if you come up with one unique enough, instead of them coming out with an update replacing the one you created, maybe, just maybe, they'll come out and reach out to you to purchase the IP for the one you make. So despite that one being my favorite that I collaborated with somebody on, it's been basically obsolete, unless you want this specific feature on an older After Effects version. That's the only way I can see maybe AEGPs being an advantage. Like if any of these features get added in the future, but you want it in a previous version, then you have to get my AEGP. And from there, I kind of got the AEGP bug. I'm like, what else is possible? So AEGPs, they use C++, but they can also interact with scripts. I'm pretty sure you can launch Python from them. There's a lot more that you can do with them than meets the eye. In fact, they even have their own kind of language within them that allows you to access all of the things you would with a script. So in some cases, there's more support. In other cases, it's more limited. But you can go down into the layers and the composition and the effects and modify things as well. And with all that in mind, I started to create my own, and I created 3 of my most recent products, all AEGPs. The first one I made came to me one day when I was exporting a YouTube video. In my YouTube video workflow, I always use After Effects to create my thumbnails. And anytime I save one of those thumbnails, I always get that super annoying 000 or 1234.png when I export it. There's, as far as I knew, and still to this day, no way to just completely remove that ability. So what I did is I created Suffix Slayer, which essentially just removes all these annoying frame endings. So it renders them out, and then our plugin goes, hey, that's not okay. So with it enabled, it just slices off the endings of everything. And the way it works is super simple. You literally just go to Composition, and you can enable or disable Suffix Slayer. When it's enabled, any image you export out of After Effects is going to have that underscore number ending removed. And of course, you can deselect it if for some reason you need it. It ignores image sequences and only applies this to single frame exports. And to me, this was like a duh moment when I'm like, this feature needs to be native in After Effects. Like, there's no ability right now to actually do it. So I made it my responsibility to create it. And of course, it's name your own price. So you can pay $0 to have this wonderful feature if you are like me and living in the Stone Age and exporting images out of After Effects. That came out this year, February 18th, 2025. But I think actually my first solo AEGP was QuickLink Items. QuickLink Items was essentially, well, it came out on October 18th of last year. Now, previously, before I created QuickLink Items, I found this tool called File Hunter by the wonderful James at Plugin Everything, who creates amazing stuff like Deep Glow. And it basically said no longer available. And this particular product was a script whose job was to take all the missing items, and you would choose a search depth and a folder, and it would attempt to find your missing files. And of course, they had limitations, like with relinking Photoshop and Illustrator files, which technically is still a limitation in my product. But the other big one was File Hunter is not compatible with alphabets other than English or Latin characters. To me, I saw this and I'm like, well, first, why is it discontinued? And 2, I feel like I can improve a lot on this. It doesn't even support other languages. I feel like having to manually choose how many layers of depth you're going to search for the files shouldn't be a thing. And then I found out it was a script. And I know that scripts are not good at recursive file hunting. So I reached out to James of Plugin Everything and I asked why was this product discontinued? And essentially it came down to it was too much bandwidth and issues coming up to help maintain and support the tool. So I told him, of course, about QuickLink Items, and I showed him, hey, I have this idea to create a After Effects general plugin, which is a menu item where we can literally just go to File, QuickLink Items. And after you choose QuickLink Items, you simply select a general drive or as specific as you want, and it recursively automatically searches down through all the folders and files. It supports all the languages. I tested it with over 41 different languages, including like scripts and accent marks that, represent basically all languages that people would be using. And then it also will now have a logged result to show you at the end, hey, here's the file name that we're looking for. Did we find it? Yes. here's the location that we found it. As well as when there are failures, I decided to put those as well, where it has the file name and not found. And for me, this was kind of like the explosion in my head, pun intended for this image, to basically allow for this process that File Hunter was doing a bit better. File Hunter was an After Effects script. This one is an AEGP, which also uses some scripting functionality, but only to get like the names of the missing files. All of the speed is done by C++, and it does a recursive file search using boost libraries to make it super fast. In my testing, I was selecting hard drives with terabytes of stuff on them, and it was finding missing footage deep within it within like 5 to 10 minutes. So even in any case, like if you don't know where your file is, you can just select an entire drive and it's going to find it. And that's the superpower that this product brought. It's that it was fast, it is built in seamlessly to the After Effects UI. It's that it has multi-language support, and of course, it gives you nice feedback when it's complete to let you know what was found and what wasn't. And that might even jog your memory to find or remember what happened to the other files if you missed them. And finally, on April 7th, 2025, after approximately 2 to 3 years of development, I finally finished my sort of big, giant After Effects general plugin project, Layer LUT Exporter. Although not everyone is doing kind of color correction in After Effects, a lot of people stick to Premiere or use DaVinci. I know that there are still a lot of people that do color correction in After Effects. And the biggest issue is that, let's say you create a bunch of effects, you apply color correction, you apply lumetri and other stuff, there's no way to export it. So one of my basically ideas that I thought would be the coolest plugin to ever make was a thing that exports LUTs out of After Effects. I spent a good year toying with the idea, creating quick little demos and experimenting. I've made videos about how it works and the whole process. But essentially, after 2 to 3 years of work, I finally created an accurate cube or LUT file exporter that essentially analyzes the effects that are applied to your footage before and after they're applied, and then exports the LUT with 100% accuracy, with some caveats, of course. And this is my it's not my opus magnum, it's not my life's work put into one plugin, but it was up to this point the biggest idea and paid thing that I have. $30 was kind of the final price I came up with in discussions with AE Scripts as well. They do a good job at communicating, kind of, discussing prices with people. And as you can imagine, something that's not free doesn't sell as well as something that costs $30. But I will say the people who have bought Layer LUT Exporter are the people that like really are going to use it. And sometimes I get an email saying somebody purchased it and I'm like, wow, an actual company purchased it. And here's a reference to my favorite that I've gotten, is that German Red Bull production studio bought my plugin. And I saw that and I just felt great. Like, even if I don't ever get another sale again of this product, I would be happy ending on that note. So, you can make free AEGPs that lots of people are going to use, and ones that are super utility and cost a little bit of money, like QuickLink items, or you can create super high level advanced ones that are going to sell a lot less, but the people who are going to be interested in it are niche but high level creators. And I love that about AEGPs. Not only does it have this sort of seamless integration with After Effects, it has so much possibilities in terms of functionalities of combining scripts, combining Python, combining C++, combining processing speed to create amazing plugins that most people are not creating these days. So AEGPs are very underrated. Look into them, look into creating them, and thanks for watching this video, guys. We'll see you next time.